now for something a bit new from the Renaissance Men and a solo project for me. Must admit, find it very strange to be here without the boys and very awkward, but, hopefully, over the course of the next 10, 15 minutes, it's me, so probably 3 hours, I can get across my newfound obsession with Funko Pops. For the listeners of the show, I'm sure you'll have seen the collection growing behind me, and I would say this side behind me, but the big bloody box in the way of that. But obviously I've been picking up a lot along the way and really getting into the hobby. I almost said habit then, and probably not too far away from a habit at this point. But one of the things I've started to do is invest in some mystery boxes. Quite an exciting, fun way to collect, and you get a set value, you pay that money. And in fact, on the screen you'll be able to see the mystery boxes I'm going to be unboxing today. So for these mystery boxes, there was a £50 payment price, and the little Funko Pops you can see below, which is the black and white Wolverine, the Russell from Up, the Loch Ness Monster, Sharknado Pop. These all have considerably more value than the £50, but as you can see, it does say guaranteed value, so you still get 2 pops per mystery box, and in theory, according to current prices, should work out around the £50. Again, quite fun. Gives you a chance to maybe get something a bit rarer that you would never get, and also it's a mystery element to it, so it's quite exciting to see what you get, see if it's something that wants to go in your collection or something that you just don't fancy at all, and gives you the chance to potentially trade it with another person for a pop that you do like. But before we get into the unboxing, one thing I wanted to talk about is some of the Facebook groups out there. I've joined a couple of the Facebook groups, and there are many, and I think if you get into collecting, I think using Facebook groups is a really helpful way to meet like-minded people, but also ways to expand your collection relatively inexpensively. So one of the groups in particular that I use a lot is called Funko Fireflies. Fantastic people, and if anyone does have any interest in the collecting hobby, give me a shout and I'll see if I can get you an invite to the group. But on there, you quite often see people selling parts of their collection that they don't want, or offering to do trades. So as I say, before we get into the world of mystery, thought I'd show you a couple of the Funko Pop pickups that I've made in the past week. And both of these were bought via a Facebook group for a very good price, so thank you very much. First one, for watchers and listeners to the podcast, people will know we love Marvel movies on the podcast, and certainly for those who've seen the collection growing, I think up and behind me there's a lot of Fantastic Four pops. In particular, I like the comic books, but I also have a love for the movies, and certainly Black Widow as a character with the recent movie that came out, it piqued my interest, and I thought, do you know what, I don't have a Black Widow pop in the collection. As I say, this was going for a bargain. It is from Endgame, where they all gear up in their time travelers suits, but yeah, first Black Widow in there. Don't know whether I'll go for more Black Widow pops, but it gives me the option of starting that collection if I need be. And the second pickup I got in the same deal was something that I didn't even realise I had a particular interest in, but I saw the pop for sale when I was looking at Black Widow, and just thought, this dude looks really cool. So I also picked up my first ever dwarf from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and got myself a little Sneezy. Now, as a hay fever sufferer, I'm often sneezy all the way through the summer, so I thought, cheap price, let's get him in the collection. Will he stay there for long? I don't know. But certainly I've done a lot of random pickups recently with the intent of potentially completing sets, or if I don't complete sets, I guess they become, as I say, potential resale or trade fodder at a later date for some pops that I may actually want a little bit more. As I say, they're the random pickups for the week, and I think what I'll do with these videos is whenever I get a mystery box, I will save that up, do a video on the channel, and any pickups I've made in and around that, so anything from shops, and I'll go into probably a little bit as we go on as to what shops I use, and also what online sellers I use for collection purposes. But yeah, I'll have them with any further mystery boxes. Now, as I say, this is a big box, and there is a bit of a online unboxing tradition of cutting the bugger open. Now, I didn't cut the bugger open online because, one, I was afraid of slicing myself to pieces and being mocked for the rest of my life. But the truthful part is I wasn't sure what order this was. So the company that does the mystery box is Pop Figures, and I do have a couple of orders with Pop Figures for generic ones that were in their store. So I got Andrea to open this up to check what it actually was, and when she said the in cardboard boxes within, I kind of knew straight away that it was the mystery box. So as I say, it was a £50 guaranteed value mystery box, and if I just shift this out the way. Now, I got two because I really liked the Wolverine, I really like the Russell, I really like mystery boxes, so I thought, treat yourself, you've worked hard. But what I also did, and what is becoming a tradition of mine, is purchase some more pops while I was actually on the site. So here's one pop and two pops, and I believe these are my actual purchases rather than the mystery box, because for the other ones these are sealed together, so I presume that's the mystery box. And last but by no means least, sealed together, so I believe the mystery box too. Get my cardboard boxes out of the way. So let's go for the pops I purchased first. Both were on sale, I believe, or certainly that's how I mentally justified it to myself to purchase them. But the first one was, pop this out there, Tom Servo from Mystery Science Theatre 3000. A cracking little comedy thing, and again, this is where pops really get into my mindset. Is anything that I have a slight little bit of interest in, or I think looks quite cool, I see if there's a pop for it, and if it's in the store and it's reasonably priced, I pick it up. And again, I think for anyone who's watching this who is also a pop collector and not just someone who follows the Renaissance men, they'll probably see that early years of obsession thing where you want to buy everything. And as I say, I'm sure over time I will settle down and start buying less, and maybe channeling that into certain ones. But Tom Servo, fantastic. And as I say, I think it shows the varied degrees of pops that there are out there, and the lines that they cover. And my second purchase, by the way, lovely packaging for these, and adds to the air of mystery, although technically I do know what this one is because, as I say, I bought it. But this is something that I've talked about briefly on the Renaissance Men podcast. So this is All Might from My Hero Academia, which is a anime that I think is 5 seasons in now, although I've only recently watched season 1, which is currently streaming on Netflix. Big fan of the show, and slowly but surely in the background, not too visible because they're actually down on lower shelves at the moment, but I'm starting to get a My Hero collection going. And in fact, from this set that the All Might teacher is from, I think I've currently got 5 of this run, I think. And again, very much in line with the TV show releases. There are seasons for these My Hero Academia pops, so some are rarer than others, some are older than others. This one doesn't hold any particular value to it, just very much like the show, very much like the character, and certainly the Japanese anime characters and the manga characters do make exceptionally good pops. Something to do with the tiny body giant head phenomenon, I imagine. So yeah, they're the bits that I've been picking up. Now on to a bit of mystery. Now, a prepared man would have bought some way to remove the tape, but anything if ill prepared for every situation. So I will fudge with this tape. Now, one of the things that obviously comes with these mystery boxes is unknown pops, unknown value. Now, there is an app out there called TPD, which is the pop directory, and that gives you an idea of the value that things are selling for based off of recent eBay sales. It's also a very good app if you are looking to buy Funko Pops, because it will show you what current eBay listings there are, and outside of that also what shops or certain shops, online sellers, currently have that pop in stock. Now you're going to see something a little bit strange here, as I say, ill prepared, but I think probably, in fact, here we go. I have the jack of a heads set here, which I'm sure can be used to stab, rip and tear. If only I had a knife, eh? Jimmy from our channel, in fact, before I carry on, I'm going to do a little bit of bitey. Jimmy from our channel has a separate podcast and a separate channel called the Galaxy Heads Podcast, so feel free to jump on and have a look at that as well. And I know he's done some unboxing of some relatively exciting Star Wars memorabilia, and I always mocked him for using a butter knife to open it, but there you go, Jimmy. If you want something to mock me back for, I use my teeth. And for anyone that's not a British viewer, I'm sure they will have lots of comedy stuff about British teeth, but bollocks to you. We are what we are. Right, I'll remove the tape from the second one. God, this is exciting viewing, isn't it? Watching a man struggle. Man fights tape. I'm going to try and go non-teeth for the second one. Oh. The good thing is, I guess it shows how good the packaging is, because it's an half fight back. Right, so you can be my first open, as you are semi-open. So, mystery pop 1, and the upside down. Let's turn you way up. Ah, now, excellent. So this is my first one from the mystery box, and it's a Koya from the Black Panther. And talking earlier about my like of Marvel movies, I know that Black Panther is quite a few years old now, but I've been going for a Marvel rewatch, and I must admit I absolutely loved Black Panther. I quite liked it the first time, but this second go around, oh yeah, absolutely fantastic. And I think more and more I noticed the other characters that were in it. I believe there may even be a TV show on the way for the character, but yeah, really chuffed with that as a pickup. And as I say, one that was on my wish list, or want list anyway, so that's quite handy to go in the collection. For valuation purposes, currently selling for £19, so that's part of the way back, I guess, to me £50 that I spent on my guaranteed value. So the second one from that pack, let's hope it's again something that I want, because as I say, like, part of the mystery box thing is looking for rarer pops with a bit of value, but when you're building a collection, you also want things that go in the collection, and yep, certainly that's going to find a place somewhere on the shelf. Probably might even join the WandaVision's pops for a little while, and may even make an appearance in the show this week. So my second one is so I've never had one of these. So this is a Freddy Funko Pop, and for non-pop lovers, Freddy Funko is pretty much the company mascot, and I know that there's a lot of love for the Freddy Pops. Now I'm not so bothered by them. I mean, this one again, I quite like Frankenstein, quite a cool story, quite a cool character, but not something that I ever really fancied getting into and collecting, and certainly had no real intention of doing the Freddy Pops at all. But I know they are hugely popular with those that like them. So looking at the current valuation for Frank and Freddy, he is currently coming in at £36, so a reasonable price. So if I pop them two together and do some basic maths in my head, in theory £55 for the two of those, so slightly above the value of what I paid for it. Now I do think, and this is something that I will cover in other videos around trading when I do some trades along the way, I think that quite probably Frank and Freddy will go into a trade, or possibly a sale for me. As I say, it's not something I want to get into. A lot of the Freddy Funko Pops are hugely expensive and way out of the price range I'd want to pay for my level of interest in it as a brand. So let's go on to pop box number 2, and hopefully we'll do as well for this. So let's get that open. Don't know if it's the right way up, but we'll soon find out. So box number 2. Ah, there you go. Speaking of My Hero Academia, we have Endeavour from My Hero Academia again. So another one for the collection. It's as if they jumped into my mind, knew what I was collecting, and thought, let's lost some towards the boy. Now Endeavour, from a price range, is wait one. Probably help if I could spell right. Or, actually, it would probably help if they could spell right, because I'm sure it has a U in it in the real world. But so Endeavour is I think £32. £4.95 Endeavour. Yep, £32. So again, looking at valuation, most of the way there to paying off for the box, but one for the collection again. And last but by no means least, and I think looking at the valuation of that, I think it's unlikely that I'm going to get any of the top 5 hits that are shown on the page next to it. But as you see, there's a limited run to the amount of boxes there are, and as there's only 5 top hits, you're unlikely to hit one of them. But you know, there's the excitement level for you, isn't it? See whether you can get one of the big ones. So what have we got here? Anti-Venom. So another Marvel pop. I will say that I've tried to avoid Venom and any of the Venom pops, because there are, much like I said about the Freddy Funkos, so many of them out there. A character I quite like from the comics, but not necessarily one where I want to get into the whole line. Maybe like the Black Widow one, maybe I'll buy 1 or 2 along the way, and certainly with this one, I could easily see myself keeping this in the collection for a little while. But you know, I think probably a reasonably good pickup. And as I say, out of the 3 pops I got, 2 Marvel and 1 My Hero one, all collections that I'm currently into, so I can't really moan too much about the turnover here. So looking at it, and I don't think it's the glow in the dark one. No, it's not. It's the Hot Topic exclusive. So that's currently trending at £22. So again, looking at the 2 values put together, £58. So a difference of £8 and a difference of £8 in my favour. You know, is this a successful mystery box? Well, I think so. You know, I think my valuation wise, it's coming higher than I wanted. I've got 3 pops that I'm quite pleased to have in my collection, and that's without the sneaky little extra ones that I bought in. And as I say, the highest valuation one being the Franken Freddy, which is something that, as I say, I know that lots of people collect and lots of people are into, and it's not necessarily someone I want, so hopefully I can use him in a trade further down the line to pick up something else. Now, I do have a couple of other cheaper mystery boxes on the way in, ones with a bit of a kind of a cheeky knock to one of the online selling shops that did some, I'd say, less than sterling mystery boxes recently. But as soon as they come in, I'll pop another video in, and I also have, in my list of pops I really want and collections I really want, I've managed to pick up a pop that should come in around the same sort of time. So next, when all those arrive, I'll do my next video, and until then, thanks for watching. Bye. Thanks for watching, and just remember, you can join the Cult of Egg by liking and subscribing to this YouTube channel. We release regular content where we talk about all things geek, all things pop culture, and all things that we're interested in. You can also come along and join the discussion on Facebook groups Renaissance Cast, and you can join us on our Twitch channel where Stu regularly streams games. And if you'd like to support us, then please follow the link for the Patreon. Thanks very much.